After a slow start, 2021 provided us with a wealth of brilliant new video games. You can find our full top 40 games of the year at GAMINGbible.co.uk, but here we have the all-important top 10.
At 10 is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. After their relatively disappointing Avengers game of 2020, we weren't expecting a lot from Square Enix's second swing at a massive Marvel franchise. But this single-player action-adventure really surprised us, matching familiar but fun combat and traversal with light puzzling and a plot that genuinely stands as one of the best we've seen in 2021. It's a little padded in places, which does slow its captivating story down, but Guardians of the Galaxy manages to make the player care about every member of the Milano crew, and the way characters look out for each other is incredibly heartwarming.
At 9 is Chicory, A Colourful Tale. While we didn't get a new Zelda game in 2021, this indie delight is a more than acceptable substitute, mixing super cute visuals with a story that can hit you right in the feels one minute before giving you the biggest smile the next. Gentle puzzles and some surprisingly testing bosses stand in our hero's way, but Chicory recognises the importance of letting players finish stories, so there is a wealth of accessibility options available. While painting the world into life is a part of Chicory, progress never depends on it.
At 8 is Halo Infinite, and we're so happy that fans of this iconic Xbox series finally received a 343 Industries era title worthy of its lofty reputation. With its new semi-open world structure and Master Chief receiving the game-changing gadget of the grapple shot, Halo Infinite is a bold step forward for its franchise, but it doesn't forget its roots either. Its free-to-play multiplayer mode is terrific fun, and there are plenty of nods to the games that started it all if you go looking for them. A return to form then, and just in time for a new generation, on a new console, to fall in love with everything Halo.
At 7 is Forza Horizon 5. The 5th entry in Playground Games' open-world driving game series forgoes simulation-style gameplay for arcade thrills, matching some unreal action with visuals that look astounding. Its Mexico setting finds Horizon looking more beautiful than ever, with several biomes offering very different conditions, and the range of vehicles on offer is extensive indeed. Arguably, Forza Horizon 5 doesn't do a lot that previous games in the series didn't already offer, but by tweaking and fine-tuning what was already amazing, this really is Forza at its very best.
At 6 is Metroid Dread. Fans of Samus Aran's 2D adventures were waiting a long time for a brand new game. Some 19 years indeed, but Dread doesn't disappoint. It's challenging, complex, and might just throw some players off with how it can seem on first impressions, but dig those heels in and Nintendo's greatest first-party title of 2021 starts to reveal its wicked delights. While it took its time, this is a sequel to Metroid Fusion in every respect, but newcomers needn't worry about feeling lost, as from its tight controls to its imposing bosses, Dread stands on its own terms in no little style.
At 5 is Psychonauts 2, another sequel that fans have been long waiting for. And like Metroid Dread, this isn't a game where you need to have played its predecessor to get the most out of it. From the outset, Psychonauts 2 delivers fantastically imaginative visuals, while matching its unique look with some of the best 3D platforming we've seen in years. Its story also really goes places, both in the game's material world and into the broken minds of characters desperate for salvation. It's a trip alright, but one that everyone is recommended to take.
At 4 is It Takes Two, a game which stands apart from any other multiplayer experience of 2021. Saying so for collaborative play simply doesn't get any better than this, as two players are required to guide May and Cody through a magical and sometimes nightmarish world of puzzles and problems. The pair can only go forward if they work together, using their individual abilities in tandem to overcome obstacles. There are arguments along the way, in-game and maybe in your home if you can't play together quite right, but the lasting memory of It Takes Two is of a cooperative experience that'll warm your heart. It's also playable online, but if you can, this is one that really shines when you're both in the same room.
At 3 is Deathloop, a shooter that mixes superlative visual flair with a gameplay loop that we just can't get enough of. It's mysterious, enigmatic, but so intuitive to gel with that anyone who likes a first-person shooter will click with it immediately, and quickly become immersed with its world of fantastical assassins and sci-fi technology. Our character, Colt, is out to kill all 8 of the visionaries who control and power this strange island, and he can tackle them in any order, bringing brilliant replay value to Deathloop. And replay it you will, learning the movements of your targets, themselves trapped in a time loop that only their deaths will break. Non-linear but confident of story and bursting with personality, this is a game that no FPS fan should miss.
Act 2 is The Artful Escape, a musical indie adventure through the unexplored extremities of space and time which lit up Game Pass on its release. It's a 2D side-scroller with basic platforming which is made so much more entertaining by a press X to shred mechanic that sees our hero, Francis Vendetti, or whatever name you give his alter ego, riff along to whatever the background music is. He also faces off against bosses in Simon Says style rhythm action battles, but the real appeal of The Artful Escape is twofold. Its visuals are dazzling and its story touching and tender, the whole experience distinctly grounded despite the galaxies it sends the player spinning through. Few games of 2021 made us smile as much as this one, while also reflecting on the choices we've made in pursuing our dreams.
And finally, at number 1 we have Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. It was a close one, but this incredible PlayStation 5 exclusive, probably the one absolute essential on the console so far, takes our Game of the Year title due to the sheer magic that courses through it. It's an astounding technical achievement, pushing its hardware to the limit as it takes Ratchet & Clank, a new character Rivet, from one dimension to the next. But it's so much more than just a showcase for what the PS5 is capable of. Even without the Pixar quality visuals, Rift Apart's gameplay would be worthy of celebration. The combat is electric, the selection of guns sensational, and just moving in this game is a treat. Its developers at Insomniac clearly learning a few tricks during the making of their previous game, Marvel's Spider-Man. Fold in a huge array of accessibility options and a series best story. For a lot of people in 2021, this was simply the best game they'd ever played.